There's a harbor in my heart where you used to fix your sails. There was no berthing fee to pay, and there were no documents to sign. You used to just relax before figuring out what you needed to do, for the ocean is vast, yet wherever you went, the currents always lead back to you. Now there's a museum in town full of memories of you. Seems the council here have nothing better to do. They change room by room as the outer you grew. But when you switch off the lights, the inner you still glows. There's a harbor in my heart where you used to fix your sails. There was no berthing fee to pay, and there were no documents to sign. If the storms grow too long, why not set sail for me? Otherwise, at least know that there's a part of you here, alive and so full of fire that I'm wondering if it's you that's powering all of these lights. That I'm wondering if it could be you who is powering all these street lights. There's a harbor in my heart where you can come and fix your sails. There will be no berthing fee to pay, and there will never be any documents to sign.
Okay, good morning. I'll just get my colleague in crime on. Here he is. How you going, John? Have you got the microphone the right way?
Oh, I think so, yes.
You're very, is there not light there? You got you're very sort of
oh, I fiddled with the side effect. I was trying to make it dull, not so bright, so you can't see me in the early morning. Maybe I could adjust it. I don't know if I can adjust it while we're talking.
Just open the window would help. There's now we're going to talk to the author today, Robyn, who's Robyn Robbins, who's the author of the Jack books and My Angry Beast. Would you like to give her an intro for her before we bring her in?
Yes, Robyn is a yoga teacher amongst many other things, and has an awful lot of wisdom in her life. She wrote the book Jack Boots about the COVID experience in Australia, and has gone on to is about to publish a book called My Angry Breast, which is about surviving cancer. And you know, as they say, grace is not found in comfort, it's found in crisis. And that's what's happened in this case. I'll just read a little bit about the book itself. She opens with a quote from an North American Indian prophecy: "When the grandmothers speak and are listened to, the world will begin to heal." In the Jackboots, Australian grandmother Robyn Robbins harnesses this ancient wisdom to challenge a modern nightmare. From 2020 to 2022, she watched Australia endure brutal lockdowns and a weaponised medical system, a predator spinning a web to trap the innocent. She insists this was a deliberate scheme to disconnect humanity from nature, paving the way for artificial intelligence to reign. The predator's poison taints the soul, Robbins warns. Yet she finds light in the grandmother of creation, Sieg. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Robyn, the grandmother of creation, whose timeless wisdom rises to defy tyranny. Through her raw perspective, the Jackboots reveals a COVID-fueled assault on freedom, with fear as its tool and control as its goal. This isn't just a tale of loss, it's a rallying cry. If we don't stand for our children, will they stand alone, Robyn asks, urging readers to reclaim their birthright. She shares practical hope, natural wisdoms, wisdom from brave doctors, and a medicine chest to foster well-being, arming to resist no matter the odds. Her voice weaves spiritual strength with fierce resolve. So welcome to the show, Robyn. It's an honour to have you on.
Hold on.
Good morning. Hello, everyone.
Good morning, Robyn. What an intro. What an intro.
Oh, I know. It's amazing. Oh, my gosh. I was in tears.
Yeah. Well, this is what yeah. So, have you written much books before this? Is this like your first book?
No, it's not. I seem to have to live something and then I just have to write about it.
Beautiful.
So
yeah.
my first, actually, I used to write as a child. And I think looking back on our childhood gives us an indication of what our passion is in life. So because we as a family went through a very horrific experience with my daughter going through drug addiction and mental health. It was way over the top. I was a single mum with 3 children at the time. It was very difficult. And yeah, it was a way over the top story. So, yes. And at the end of the day, I had to sit down and write that because at the time I was thinking, there's a lot now being said about the addiction and mental health, which I believe is part of the whole setup in our society today. You know, drugs are introduced into our society, and this was the time this was happening. I didn't know any of this. I didn't even know.
On, Robyn? Was it
ice? Oh
ice?
my gosh! No, I don't know about ice, but I don't think ice was sort of on the scene back then.
So it's heroin.
I mean, I didn't know what marijuana was back then. I grew up, you know, yes, pretty protected in my childhood, and I had there was never any doubt in my mind that we were going to come through this, but we didn't. We went a very different way, but it was decades, and my, you know, my thought at the time was, well, you know, what has this done to the family? What has it done to people, even friends, even today, friends that loved her, grew up with her, will cry for her and for what we went through. And I just had to write and say to the world, well, this affects so many people, affects everyone. So so that was my first little write, which I'm hoping to redo now and bring up to date with what as I've done with my cancer story. So
the cancer story is the new one. That's this one here.
The cancer story is
My Angry Beast.
My Angry Breast. It really should be.
Yes, that's my fault. This is a drama.
I thought it was like an analogy. I thought it was like a metaphor.
Well,
I
I quite like the title "My Angry Beast," and it was
I
about a week
do.
or two
Actually,
into.
it's pretty cool. Yeah, but I did wonder, Angry
John's
Beast.
actually, I think, more comfortable with that than
My Angry
publishing a
Breast.
book on a
Well, I've never met an angry
breast.
breast myself, but that's why it's always something to, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
to
so
search
it's
for.
also a very inspiring book, My Angry Breast. Yes, that's a typo, and we haven't got the final cover yet, but it's a beautiful cover, a really beautiful
Let's
cover.
walk.
It
Let's
is
And
a
work to
lovely
Jack
cover.
books. Let's work to the Jack books and tell us your thoughts about this. So, I mean, you sound like my girl when the intro was reading it out. But what got you to write this book, Robyn?
Oh, well, Michael, I didn't sit down and think I definitely have to write about COVID as I did the other book and as I did My Angry Breast. It just sort of happened. I actually started writing it in 2012. I didn't know that. So COVID was happening. And at that time, I think what we were doing is we were exchanging information, between friends and what was happening, trying to work out what was happening. And I was very good at that because being a yoga teacher, my passion was getting information out to people. And I'd do newsletters and I'd write and I'd be very, very passionate, especially about health, and want to tell people about this. Probably not many people really want to know. So I was starting to write down things that I saw that I had time to look at that others didn't, on what was happening, mainly the health aspect. And also someone gave me Sophie Scholl's quotes. Now, she was a young girl in pre-German, the Nazi time.
Yeah.
Her and her brother and others in the university were sending out pamphlets to try and warn the people and wake the people up, which, sounds a bit like today.
Yeah.
And I just loved them. I just wanted to share these with friends, to say, look, this is what's happening. And a thought just came into my mind. You're actually writing a book? And I said to the voice in my head, no, that's insanity. I am not writing about COVID. No way. And then the thought popped in, well, didn't you write a poem about today in 2012? And I'd forgotten that. And I remember at the time, because my passion was to try and write children's stories, but I ended up writing memoirs and done both. And so I went back and had a look, and it was called The Jackboots Are Coming. And it was really spot on about today. And so from there on in, it was like I just had to document what was happening. Even though, no one wanted to know, I knew that there was very little hope of getting anything published. That wasn't the thought. But I just
I know
had
that
to write.
feeling.
I just thought, well, there's so much happening. People aren't seeing it. They don't know. They don't know, still don't know. So I just thought, well,
Why do you think that is, Robyn? Why do you think some part of the population can see it clearly and other parts of the population just cannot see it at all?
I think there's a lot of strands to that. I think we've been dumbed down very much for a long, long time. And, a long, long time. The story goes back and back. And in the Jackboots, I've tried to sort of introduce that concept because it's very difficult for people to understand what's happening today, just as a little one-off piece. But to understand the background and the whole story is very daunting. But we need to do that to understand what has happened.
Can you remember?
And I've tried. Sorry,
Robyn. Can you remember when the COVID first popped up?
Yes.
what that was like, and how bewildering and how frightening it was for everybody. I
Yeah,
think nobody knew
the
what was
very
going
no, the very weak. I mean, I've been looking at all this seriously since the 1990s. Because I was in a position then to have, access to material. I saw people like David Icke speak, and yes, I do remember that job. I remember the moment. I remember thinking, this is crazy. This isn't right. And I remember going to our beautiful markets. We've got lovely organic markets, which was it's like a little pocket of light, and it was all through COVID, where people came together, and very few wore masks. They could laugh, talk. Today, and that's not happening in the world today so much. But yeah, I remember seeing a lady there, and she looked at me and she said, "Do you believe all this crap?" And I said, "No." She said, "No, neither do I." But it was very, very confusing because I remember my son sending me a little video saying, 2 weeks to, and it was a funny thing. I don't know what it was now, but we can do this. We've only got 2 weeks of it. I mean,
2 weeks to flatten the
um,
curve.
2 weeks
Yeah.
to flatten the curve. Yeah.
Another lie in a blizzard of lies. Yeah. It was
Oh,
unbelievable.
it
And
is unbelievable.
and it was
It,
deliberate. They changed these instructions every single day. There was a new series of instructions. Good luck working out whether you had to wear a mask or not wear a mask, or you could go outside or not go outside. The rules changed almost daily, and that's a deliberate effort to confuse and disorient a population, and they did a damn good job of it. And they queued in their millions, literally millions, to get the jab. So it was just mind blowing, the scale and the intricacy of the operation. And they say that
yeah.
artificial intelligence was widely used in implementing this psyop, as
Wow.
people are calling it. Did you get that feel that there was something alien about the whole thing, that it just wasn't
Oh,
human?
100%. Yeah. I believe it's a spiritual
Yes.
battle that we're in, for sure. Yes.
Well, can I tell
And
you something, Robyn, to think about that I thought I
yes.
was writing the other day? And I was just realizing the churches were all closed, and yet the
Yep.
priests were all pushing the jab. So the
Yes.
sanctuary of God, the church, was closed. We couldn't get in. You could only do it online. The priests are pushing the jab, and initially they were saying it wasn't man-made. It was, it was just nature. So what they were saying was this was an act of God. This COVID pandemic was an act of God. But we,
Yeah.
us men who have closed the churches, but all the vaccination centers and brothels are open, we've got the cure that we've created. So they were literally saying that God's trying to kill us and we can save you. When you think of it in a certain way, I'm
Wow.
really under looking underneath the messaging. That's what they were saying. And the morning masses, the death masses, were saying, look, they're dying. God's killed this person. God's killed this person. God. But hey, come and get your jab. Come and join our church and we'll save you. Man will save you from God. That's actually, you could actually theorize that was actually the subliminal messaging to everything, and us, a lot of the people who
Wow.
didn't take it said they were following a calling inside. So it's almost
Yes.
like a cross between
Yes.
those who listened inside and those who decided God wasn't up to the job or God was doing the killing, and man would save us. I'm not saying that's how it happened, but it's one way of looking at it.
It was insane. You could go to a swingers party, but you couldn't go to church. I mean, how did any of it make any sense? It made no sense.
I reckon they were all hazmat suits in the swingers party. Is that how it worked? I don't know.
No. Nobody
They
cared what you
didn't.
did. Shut the door and let it fly.
I didn't follow any of the rules. I just never wore a mask.
Oh,
I
really?
did
Can
get a
I
mask.
ask, how did you, if you didn't wear a mask, how did
Yeah.
society treat you? If you went into a store?
Oh, well, yeah, I just didn't. I did have a mask exemption, which was really funny because no one could get one. And everyone was asking their
$50
doctors, and
at the
doctors.
local pub. Easy.
Yeah, I had no idea that was happening. I did have a false passport. which was really that was a lot of fun. We all did that, and
No, I didn't.
you didn't, I did. And yeah, so I said to one of my practitioners, I was saying, talking about the mask, how dangerous it was, and people with cancer, and he just sat down and wrote me out an exemption. I think he thought, if I don't do this woman's going to, be shot. As one of my other practitioners keeps saying to me, Robyn, don't get shot. It's going to happen anyway. But yeah, no, so I did have that, but I just didn't wear it. And, it was what amazed me, I went to a huge hospital in Brisbane to see my son, and there was an old guy at the door, and he was checking everyone to make sure they had a mask. And I said, well, no, I don't wear one. And he looked at me, and I thought, well, he said to me, I don't know what to do with you, because you're the only person that's come through here that said that. And I thought,
incredible.
this is a very busy place. Why isn't anyone else standing up? Why? Why are we doing this?
Yeah. That was,
I
do you know,
think
it was very rare. It took a lot of courage to go against the tribe. You're walking around a supermarket without a mask
yep,
on. You could feel the intense pressure, you know what I mean? It
yeah,
was really brave for those who never wore it. I wore it initially just briefly, and then I just couldn't do it. And it was.
yeah.
Was there any part of it where a particular moment where you really thought, okay, this is nonsense? I mean, we heard
Oh,
things
yeah,
of you could go surfing, but you couldn't swim, so you had to be a damn good surfer. But but was there any parts that really hit you home, going, okay, this is far more dangerous than just a vaccine than COVID.
yeah.
This is something else.
This is something else. Oh my gosh, that exact moment.
It
Yeah,
really was.
I think that did take a little while for people to realise this isn't 2 weeks. There's a
Mm,
lot more behind this. But that's very difficult for people to understand that hadn't any previous acknowledgement that there was something else going on
mm,
before this.
yeah.
It's been
Mind-blowing, that
happening.
whole thing. Mind you, it's woken up an awful lot of people. The whole rate of
Yes,
any vaccination down is way down. The whole credibility of the medical profession has been severely dented. I thought we could just return a little bit to. I just read a short extract from the book, if you don't mind. It's
This is from Jack
uh,
Books.
yeah, this is from the Jack Boots.
thank you, John.
Yeah. These writings are focused on brave warriors speaking in the public domain. And by the way, for anyone who's interested, you can buy a copy of the Jack Boots, personally signed. We send it off and get Robyn to sign it so she can do a personally autographed copy. And as her next book shows, they're valuable. From the book, these writings are focused on brave warriors speaking in the public domain, risking everything to ensure that humanity's soul survives this journey to seed future generations. However, everyday men, women, and children also walk this path. When we are open to the lives of those around us, we see the spirit within and become a witness to the soul's heroic struggle to survive and flourish. Humanity has compassion and warmth. The human heart has the ability to encompass and heal those in need. Humanity has the ability to create. The children are our future. Indigenous wisdom may have become but a faint echo, but we can reinvent a healthy knowledge base for agricultural practices, and just maybe what we had thought to be lost will again be gifted to humanity. During the COVID time of lockdowns and mandates, the children's growing years were disrupted, and they need us now to step up and say no to being forcibly injected with poisons that may maim their body and steal their life. That remains to this day the biggest medical scandal in Australian history, that millions and millions of Australian children were vaccinated with a poorly tested and novel vaccine, quote unquote. It's just the greatest medical scandal in Australian history. And there are many, many parents all around the country who now seriously regret having played a role in injecting their children. Today, grandmother wisdom is more crucial than ever. The jackboot stands as a bold call to reject tyranny, restore natural health, and fight for liberty. As systems crumble and betrayal looms, Robyn's proves the ages-old power of a grandmother's heart can still guide us. Uplifting, yet unyielding, this book speaks to those hungry for truth and defiance, a beacon in a world undone. Oh, it's an amazing effort, Robyn.
That's beautiful. Can I ask, Robyn? It says on the title, "The darkest and brightest time on planet Earth." What's the brightest?
The brightest, I believe, is what John was saying. People are becoming awake now.
Yeah.
This has been going on for a long, 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 long time, probably thousands of years. And now is the time. And through this, the COVID time, it's beginning to wake people up to what is happening, to the evil. Can I say evil?
You can say evil, you can swear. This is Cafe Lockdown. Yeah, believe me.
Oh, good. I don't normally swear, so that will be great.
Well, I've met a lot of grandmothers on the road that said, "I never used to swear, but since COVID, I swear all the time."
Yes, I have too. Yeah, definitely. It is. And you know, talking about the grandmothers, I love that, and it resonated with me. But nothing like, there's Raina Fulmich, the lawyer who did the Court of Public Opinion, which I've written about in the book. The book is about trying to get information in there for people to look back on, where they can research, and there are sections on books and webcasts. But he did that, and I talked about that, and he was jailed at the end of 2023, but the day before he was jailed, he did a beautiful podcast which they've just released, and I watched this week, and that brought to my heart, I thought, this is what the grandmother wisdom is all about. It was talking to two women. They were twins. They were in a care facility, and they talked about the trust. That's a big thing. We've lost that trust. The trust they had in the people caring for them, and where their lives are now, health-wise, with a very bleak future, is very heartbreaking. And I thought the courage of those beautiful grandmothers to stand up and say, look, I can't go to my grandson's birthday, you know, this is what happened to us.
Yes.
And we trusted. And yeah, Michael, and I've seen, you know, your podcasts, I've been watching them for a long time, and you've done exactly that. You've brought, you know, the voice of the people and the voice of the elders and the grandmothers, and I think that's where we start now. That's our platform to move forward on, because it's been brought out for people to look at, and that takes a lot of courage.
There's another grandmother here. So her name was Mary. I don't know if you can see the photo, but
yes,
this was the police officers. They pushed her down, pepper sprayed her twice. A load of police officers just walked by her. It was the seventh one that stopped. I talked to her at the edge of a march one day. Someone said, look, she's here. She doesn't want to do an interview, but she'll talk to you. And I asked her, because she was wearing the Australian cape, and she's a tall woman. She's about 6 foot, and she's from Croatia. And so I was in a place where the police were coming, and the other young protesters had run off. But she stood where she was. And I said, is that because you took it for granted that the Australian police would not hurt a senior woman, you know, a grandmother, really? And she said, that's exactly what I thought. And then they shoved her over and pepper sprayed her while she was on her back. And then the next one pepper sprayed her. And then the rest walked by her. And then there was 2 days of silence where we didn't know whether she was alive or dead. And in Melbourne, I thought, this is it. Melbournians are going to go, nah, this is enough. Once you get the police attacking our grandmothers, this is not
Mm.
worth it. No, this will be the
Yep.
end. But instead, the police came out with a marketing campaign saying it was a man dressed up, which was a lie. She was just holding a wig that another protester had dropped, so she was just holding it, and they said it was a man dressed up, which was an absolute lie. It wasn't a mistruth; it was just a bold-faced lie. And then, to my horror, the community accepted the lie, and I understood that that's what was happening. The community needed to believe that the government wouldn't hurt them, the police wouldn't hurt them,
Mm.
but they were looking at this image of a grandmother being pepper sprayed. So it was challenging them. And so for some reason, once the police said it was a man dressed up, everyone was like, oh, that's fine. He shouldn't have been there, man. You know, he deserves it. And they just went on as though it was normal. And so Mary's plight, if it wasn't for the freedom movement, this incredible photo, was just swept into history. And around Australia, I've interviewed other women. There was another woman up in Coffs Harbour. She was in a nurse's uniform in her 60s. She didn't have a mask on. The police threw her down and broke her sternum. I've had
Mm.
other grandmothers attacked, brutalized. I've still can't comprehend how men, especially wearing a uniform that says serve and
Yeah.
protect, could actually do that, knowing everybody was filming them around them, can actually do that and live with themselves. But that's what happened, Robyn. And why do you think that
Yes.
happened? Why do you think our police officers suddenly got to a point where this was acceptable?
I think it's been a long time training. It's right across the board. I think they've been very dumbed down. I was pulled over by a policeman a while back and booked. I was speeding. I wasn't really. I was
You were
doing
speeding.
60 or something. My kids say, well, that's the speed you do no matter what, Mum. So, but yeah, and this I didn't argue with him because he virtually said to me, well, it was a big fine, and he said if you do contest it, it will double, sort of thing, you know. And
No.
at the time, I lived on a mountain. The mountain was closed through weather. We were going, it was because we had to go a long way around to get off the mountain, and he was waiting there, and the people were stressed doing this, a lot of stress. And he laughed and said, this is fun because I get so many people now. And I thought, but I looked at him, he's covered in all this technology.
Mm.
You
And
cannot
he's not
have
even
that.
a robot yet.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
I don't
Apprentice
know.
robot.
I think it's happening pretty quick. And I
Yeah.
think, there's so much coming into this because,
There
I
was a
talk about,
sorry.
no, sorry.
There was a classic scene. This is the 4th anniversary of the convoy to Canberra, and there was a classic scene there, which was filmed, of two police officers clicking their pepper spray cans together like they were beers, like hallelujah, just like cheers, mate. We're going to pepper spray them. We
Yes.
haven't seen that sort of pepper spraying straight in your face really since that time until Sydney and this past week, and where they were literally straight in their face. That's dangerous. You could have a heart attack. They're on the ground and being pepper sprayed, and then they're really distressed afterwards. You don't know whether that person has a heart condition or maybe allergic to the spray or whatever. It's just it's become a brutality has kind of crept into the society at large. They say that it was also deliberately designed, that one of the reasons humans have been so successful on planet Earth is they cooperate in large numbers. They build roads, they build banks, they build armies, they build very sophisticated structures, and that is their greatest strength. And to break that strength down, you have to break down the connection between people. So it feels like that to me, anyway, that's happened to a great degree. So can you just talk a bit more?
So.
Very much so. We'll get on to your next book in a minute, but can you just talk a bit more about the process of writing the jackboots? What conclusions you came to? Did you change your thoughts about humanity during the process of writing about it and experiencing it?
I guess, yeah, I did, John. I guess I just had to sit there and write what I was seeing. Yeah, and to say also, you know, in Australia, we had doctors and scientists standing up for us. There were the people that still, they were still there. And I thought, excuse me, that's going to be lost. People may not even know or remember that. I'm sure a lot of people have documented what happened, and probably a lot more books will come out. It's our history. But yeah, definitely, it was, I think, a shock, as you're saying, you know, to realise that we have got to a stage, we as in perhaps humanity, where we've allowed this to happen bit by bit by bit. I mean, we cannot, you know, I don't think we can really, we have to sit back and not blame ourselves. We have to look with compassion, because it's happened over a long period of time, and it's a very subtle thing, you know. There's one book that I've referenced in the Jackboots by Isabel, I can't think of her name, but she worked for the education Jackboots by Isabel, I can't think of her name, but she worked for the education Jackboots by Isabel, I can't think of her name, but she worked for the education Jackboots by Isabel. The sound's gone funny. But she worked for the education Jackboots by
Yeah, I don't know
Isabel.
why. Are you there, John?
The
It's
sound's
okay,
gone
mine.
funny.
I'm here.
I'm here, but all I can hear is my voice repeating over and over.
I'm here.
Oh, you got an echo. Okay, hold
I'm
on.
here, but all I can hear is my voice repeating over and
Try that.
over.
Is that
I'm
any
here.
better? Oh, you got an echo. Okay.
I'm here, but all I
Say
can hear
something,
is my
Robyn.
voice repeating over
Are
and
you
over.
asking me to say something?
No, Robyn.
I'm
Can
here,
you say
but
something,
all
Robyn?
sorry,
Can you hear me?
sorry, repeating over
Are
and
you
over.
Is it still
asking
the
me to
same?
say something?
No, Robyn.
I'm
Can
here,
you say
but
something,
all
Robyn?
sorry,
Can you hear me?
sorry, repeating over
Are
and
you
over.
Robyn,
asking
what?
me to
Can
say
you hear me,
something?
Robyn? No, Robyn.
I'm here. Sorry, yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, but all I can hear is my own voice
Robyn,
going
what
over
can
and
you hear me, Robyn? What we might have to
I'm
do is
here.
you
Sorry,
might have
yeah,
to
I
log
can
out and
hear
just
you.
log back
Sorry,
in. That's
but
the only
all I
way to
can
fix
hear
it,
is
okay?
my own voice going over
Can
and
you hear me, Robyn?
So
So just gonna
I'm
kick
here.
you out of the
Sorry, yeah, I can
studio
hear
and then
you.
just click the
Sorry,
link and
but
come
all
back
I
in.
can
That
hear
will
is
fix
my
it.
own voice. Oh, okay, that's fun.
I'm just gonna see you in a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, I
Yeah,
can hear you.
yeah, it's exciting.
But all
Okay,
I
see you in a
can
bit.
Oh, okay, that's fun.
Okay, okay, see you in a bit.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can hear
yeah,
you.
it's exciting.
But all
Okay,
I
I couldn't hear the echo.
Oh,
This is
okay, that's fun.
okay, okay, see you in a bit.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can hear you.
it's exciting.
It's still
I
going.
can hear the echo.
Oh,
This
okay,
is
that's fun.
okay. I can't hear an echo. Can you hear one? I can't.
It's still
I
going.
can hear the echo.
Oh,
This
okay,
is
It's
that's
still going.
fun.
I can't hear an echo. Can you hear one? I can't. What's still going?
It's still
I
going.
can hear the echo.
Oh,
This
okay,
is
It's
that's
still going.
fun.
I can't hear an echo. Can you hear one? What's still going, John? What's still going?
It's still going.
I can hear the echo.
Oh,
This
okay,
is
It's
that's
still going.
I can't hear an echo. Can you hear one? What's still going, John? What's still going?
It's still going.
I can hear the echo.
Oh,
Can anyone in the
okay,
comments
still
tell me?
going.
I can't hear an echo. What's still going, John? What's still going?
Still going.
We all hear the echo. John, I might kick
Still
you out
going.
and come back in. Try to get some light on your face. See, that's still going, John. Okay. And hi, Bruce. I checked the sites. It works for me, babe. You just click on the thing, it works. So yeah, maybe contact us at Cafe Lockdown Italy and send it there. But I just tried it. It just so we're just waiting on our guests to both come in. Yeah, yeah. So there's another link there if anyone wants to try to see if it works. Yeah, it's worked with this. We're going to talk about trading for babies. There are some young guys who have decided that they're over. Oh, here we go. They're over late-term abortions, so they're going broke. caravan coming in. Yeah. They're going local about it. Yeah, that's right, Christian. I've already done that, brother. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, that's right, Christian. I've already done that, brother. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, that's right, Christian. I've already done that, brother. I've got fancier. Yeah. Kelly. Fuck. So we've got some people turning up. I think I've already done that, brother. I've got fancier. Yeah. Thing. She's got no Kelly cap on. So we've got some fans turning up. Some people turning up. I think I've already done that, brother. Hey, John, can you hear me now? Is that better?
Yes, I can hear you, but there's still a lot of noise.
Yes.
Hey, John, can you hear me now? Is that better? So you still got echo,
Yes,
do
I
you,
can
on
hear
your
you, but
side?
there's still a lot of noise.
Yes.
Hey, John, can you hear me now? Is that better? So you still got
Yes,
echo.
I can hear you, but it's looping. They say it's not an echo, it's looping, whatever that means.
Yes.
Hey, John, can you hear me now? Is that better? So you still got
Yes,
echo.
I can hear you, but it's looping. They
The
say
echoes
it's not
are
an
looping.
echo, it's
That's
looping,
bizarre.
whatever
Never
that
had
means.
that before. Hey, John, can you hear me now? Is that better? So you still got
Yes,
echo.
I can hear you, but it's looping.
The
They say
echoes
it's not
are
an
looping.
echo,
That's
it's looping,
bizarre.
whatever
Never
that
had
means.
that before. Hey, John, can you hear me now? Is that better? So you still
Yes,
got
I
echo.
can hear you, but it's looping.
The
They say
echoes
it's
are
not an
looping.
echo. It's
How's that? Is that any
never had
better?
that before.
Hey, John,
No.
can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, but it's looping. They say
Oh, I'm
it's not an
sorry.
echo.
How's that? Is that any better? What to do? Hey, John,
No.
we've logged you on, logged you
Yeah,
back in.
yeah.
That's it. The only thing we can do
Oh,
is
I'm
I
sorry.
log out. How's that? Is that any better? What to do? But then if
No.
I log out, we've logged you on, logged you back in.
Yeah.
That's it. The only thing we can do is I log out. Well, I can't log out because I'm
No.
log out. Okay, I'll just try. Just have a chat amongst yourselves. See if it keeps looping this. I'll come out and I'll come back in.
God, Robyn, what a mess.
Gremlins.
Gremlins in the...
How's that?
Goodness.
Any better?
That's better.
Is it better?
How's that?
Yes.
Is that better now?
Yes.
better?
It's better.
Okay.
Is it better?
Okay.
Yes.
We're starting better now. So where we
Yeah,
get up
it's
to?
better.
Okay.
No,
Is it
it's
better?
still echoing.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Starting better now. So where we
Yeah,
get
it's
up
better.
Okay,
No, it's
guys.
still echoing.
Nothing I can do.
Yes.
Wow. Starting
better
again.
now.
So
No, it's better.
okay,
No,
guys.
it's still echoing.
Yeah. Nothing I can do.
Maybe
Yes.
we've been,
Wow.
maybe we've been,
Yeah, it's better.
Okay,
No,
guys.
it's still echoing.
Yeah. Nothing I can do.
maybe
Yes.
we've been,
Wow.
maybe we've been,
Yeah. Asia,
Yeah,
I found a way to
it's
mess with the sound. I really
No,
don't know what
it's
to
still
do, guys.
echoing.
Sorry. It's
Yes.
that's about it. Asia, I found a way to mess with the sound. I really
No,
don't know what
it's
to
still
do, guys.
echoing.
Sorry. It's
that's
well,
about it.
maybe just have your say because you're not looping my end.
No, it's still
It was better when Micah went out. Okay, well maybe if I was out, we had to still on the screen. We used to be able to talk to each other. It was better when Micah went out. Okay, well maybe if I was out, we had to still on the screen. We used to be able to
Can't
talk
do
to each
anything.
other. It was better when Micah went out. Oh, just bear with me one more go. I might try this. Hold on. Oh no, I don't know. Oh, just bear with me one more go. I might try this. Hold on. Oh no, I don't know. Okay, let me go out and see.
Whoa, Robyn, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, well, he's out, so I'm not getting the echo now. Are you?
No.
No. So someone
No,
was saying it's
that's
not
fine.
his end, but it must be. Maybe restart the whole show. Well, we all logged out and logged back in. ASIO has a
Yeah, we
DG
did.
van now doing a remix. Yep. Wild. Oh, so you've fused the technology. Yeah, there's no echo of us two talking, so that's interesting, isn't it?
No. Yes.
Well, for anyone who's still listening, I'll throw in a few more words from the book, just to sort of wind that bit up, and then we'll get on to My Angry Breast. I don't know if anybody's still listening. Well, some people are still commenting, so thanks for your patience, guys. It's
Yeah, they are.
yeah. So humanity has compassion and warmth. This is from The Jackboots by Robyn Robbins. The human heart has the ability to encompass and heal those in need. humanity has the capability to create beauty and that space of love for all living creatures to be held in a place of peace. Artificial intelligence, a force with intent to shrivel the human soul and cut away the human ability to bring spirit into the physical realm, does not possess these qualities. Acts of love ensure that the human spirit will survive these dark times and are the foundations upon which our new world is built. When we live in generosity of spirit, we are the heroes. To reverse the trend of chronic disease today in children is perhaps one of our most urgent challenges. To give that beautiful flower the opportunity to grow, blossom, and flourish is our job. So it really is, it was quite a remarkable effort, the Jackboots, and it was a privilege to edit it.
Hey,
Now,
is that bad? Is that better?
Well, we weren't getting any loop when you logged out. We weren't. It was going
Getting loop
perfectly
now?
well. Not so far.
No.
Maybe it's that toxic masculinity of yours, mate. You've completely curdled the system. It's just freaking out. Whoa!
Do you want to, before we go, do you want to talk about the new book, The Angry Beast?
The Angry Beast, The Angry Breast.
That That's all my fault.
Oh no, it's
Yes, it's an amazing book. So, do you want to talk some more about it, Robyn? Just how it all began, and hang on, I've got some words to get.
Okay, my breast cancer journey officially began in 2012 when I was first diagnosed. My initial, which still is, response was just to what I call the carrot juice therapy, which is natural therapy. But I'd learned that, it's bringing everything together. And going through the cancer journey with my dad, was just awful. He just had radiation for 12 months. We went to the hospital every day, 5 days a week for 12 months. So I learned a lot. I knew back then there were other ways, but there was no avenue to find anything out then. But since then, I'd been delving and looking and researching, and I knew there was a better way. So my Angry Breast was bringing together everything that I'd learned.
It is an amazing book. When I first thought, the last thing I want to do is read a book about breast cancer.
I know. I was having a chuckle, John. I thought, I think this will be a game changer. I don't think
John's going to put up with this one. Oh, my God. But actually, it's a really profound and a really moving piece of work and really interesting piece of work. And it is that whole thing that, you were diagnosed in 2012. It must have been appalling. Some of the sections in the book are like really, they're really confronting, because you had a mastectomy, and that whole thing is really confronting, that whole section for anyone. But it's also inspiring, because I don't know what percentage of women get breast cancer, but it would prove. Do you know the figure?
No, I don't.
But it would be a real inspiration for it would be a real inspiration for anyone who's going through it.
Okay, thank you.
This time, the fear of the unknown, you were saying in 2012, was not so raw. Having spent years researching and studying holistic health, I had an understanding of avenues to explore besides the toxic treatments offered by the Western medical model. When hearing the words, "you have cancer," I took the highway of hope to find a better way and a return to health. And that must have been in defiance of what all your doctor, what a lot of people were telling you, that you couldn't find any cure in natural medicine. Is that right?
Oh, yes, definitely. I was very lucky, though. Brought together a team of practitioners that have been with me that whole time and still are now. I'm here because I brought everything together using a little bit of Western medicine, but I'm healthy because I use natural medicine. It makes all the difference. And at the end of 2022, when I was writing the Jackboots, the cancer reemerged. And that's another story. So I've now written at the end of the book, in book 2, that journey, because that was a journey in 2022. My belief at the time was that the COVID, what they're calling is shedding, you know, being with a lot of people that have just been vaccinated, which is what happened. And then I became very ill straight after that. And then not long, it's a long story, but just in a split second, I ended up in hospital fighting for my life. I couldn't do anything.
Wow.
It was, nothing. I mean, so I was in there for 3 weeks. I had to learn to do everything again. And they said that, you know, I mean, I was very lucky. One of my doctor stepped in and took over to a degree, because they were wanting me to have, even though, you know, well, like, there's nothing we can do for you, they were still wanting me to have a lot of operations, take out the stomach and do all this stuff, you know. And
The stomach.
I was saying, the stomach.
I never heard of
because
this, but apparently it's quite common. Is it, Robyn?
It's very common, you know. It's what they offer then. Well, we can do this because this and rah. But I was saying no, according to my
They
youngest
literally
son, who
cut
was
out your
always,
stomach. Oh my God.
that they do, and I've written about that in the book earlier with a friend's husband who had that experience, and all these operations they offer. But I was lucky; my doctor sort of was in the background saying, "No, I want, you know." And without him, and my youngest son was there every day. I didn't know who he was a lot of the time. I've never told him that, but I didn't. I was hallucinating, everything, everything. You know, I was looking at my blood tests like a week or 2 weeks before, and they were fine, and suddenly, no, they weren't. Everything was chaotic. It was just unbelievable. But I was lucky because I had this wonderful doctor, I believe, that stepped in. There were other doctors, other people in the hospital too, that supported, and my daughter-in-law turned up with some real food. I couldn't eat. I couldn't stop vomiting. And it was, so it was just huge. And they just sort of said, you know, well, we can't tell you because we're not allowed. That's for your doctor, but we know where you're going, dear. Like, oh, sorry, you know, we know where you're going. And I thought, oh, really? And I've written about that in the book, and it reminded me, I didn't know until recently, when my mum was 101 when she passed, and she'd had a stroke. She'd never had an injection in her life, to my knowledge, but then, of course, she had the flu injections and all the COVID injections. So she had a stroke, and she was in hospital. My brother said, the doctor came in and said, oh, well, love, it's the end of the line for you.
Oh my God.
This was the sort of attitude, but I'd had had enough knowledge then of a different way. I was very lucky to have that, that I somehow could block that out. And I think my yoga teaching has played a big part of that as well. And then I had no idea that there was really nowhere to go. And one of the nurses said to me, well, you know, you need care now for the rest of your life. You're never going to be able to walk up steps. You're never going to do this. I mean, I'm running up steps now and writing books. And I had no idea. And she said to me, you'll be going into an aged home. There's not the facilities out there
It's
to
just
help.
positive, isn't it? It's just like, you know,
it's just unbelievable.
It's like the cheer squad from hell. Just give up. Just give up. It's not worth it. Give up.
It is a
exactly,
fascinating.
which is what they want you to do, is to give up. And I didn't give up. And I had people around me that didn't give up. My youngest son took me home, even though we had totally different lifestyles. He didn't know what to do with me. He didn't know nothing. But it was just, well, you know, this is what we're doing. And then bit by bit, what I did do, you know, following on from that, through all this time, because it took quite a long time, it took 8 months, and then finally I found myself a little granny flat and became independent. But during that time, I was still trying to keep the jackboots going.
Yeah.
I just still had to do it. I knew I had to do it. And,
so you had purpose to your life, which helped you get through.
I had, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
It's an amazing book. Here's a few words from the book. The alchemy of body chemistry, belief system, hopes, dreams, and the cancer itself are as individual as each grain of sand on a beach. The therapies we bring together to support our healing also differ, especially today, as I believe the modern medical paradigm is morphing into a holistic approach. I feel privileged to be a witness to this emerging new vision, one that is drawing threads from ancient, tried and true medicine and the brilliance of today's medical and scientific sector, whose heart truly beats with the mantra, first, do no harm. And it's a really, it's in a really, you just, if I got diagnosed with cancer, I think I'd just fall to bits. I'd go and get absolutely smashed, and
No, you wouldn't.
take the quick. That's what you keep saying. I think, oh yeah, I'm just going to go out go and have the final party. You can pick me up. You could pick me up with a car with the rest of the trash next morning. Be in the gutter
Like
somewhere.
like the council pickup, when they put all the rubbish out in the front, we'll just leave it there.
Yeah. So
it's hard. I think for most people would be, if you got cancer, you'd be thinking, oh my God, not that it's going to kill you, but the journey, you've got to go on. And we've all seen the chemotherapy people. Yeah.
Yes, it's the journey.
Yeah.
For sure.
It is. It's an amazing book, and I think it will be a real inspiration to people.
Thank you.
Having the same experience is in use. I just wanted to close really on this moment in right towards the end of the book. And it's just a really human thing, and it's you're talking about the things in society that we have lost, and one of those is bring back the tradition of making cake, and you say the cake, handmade and iced, topped with candles for birthday celebrations, has been a handed down tradition in many cultures. And you believe that many sacred traditions, such as the cake, are lost in our modern day world. You took, my mum took cake decorations, and you tell this very funny story of, I think it was your mother had made this very special cake and had it all out for the celebration, and someone from the city, I think it was Harold, good old Harold, he shows
good
up,
old Harold.
and there was ants on the cake, and he just picks it up, takes it to the kitchen sink and just throws it in there and washes the ants off, and that's it. That's the end of the cake. And your poor mum was just totally horrified and really never forgave him. And to you, cake is a symbol of symbolic of celebration, togetherness. Bring back the cake. And I think that's really just sort of a really sweet thing, that it's very true. I went to some Valentine's celebration yesterday, and then I bought a cake on the way, all because I'd read that in your book.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I just asked, people are going here, when is this book being released? Because Gail is looking into it, so it's not released yet. When's the release date?
Oh, we haven't set a date, but probably within about 6 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. 4 to 6 weeks is a good guess.
So keep an eye out, Gail, and we'll get the book back. Yeah, but Jack Books is available. You can go to Sense of Pace Publishing. You can get it there, or if you want, or you can go to cafelockdown.com and look up the Banned Book Company. Scroll down, and it's there as well.
You can get signed, or you can get
a signed copy. So if you want a signed copy, and I think it'd be worth something. I mean, it's beautiful that you're writing at this age, and I actually think, to be honest, writing is. I know you get some brilliant young writers, you do, but there's a beauty to writing in your senior years, because you've got all this wealth of knowledge and wisdom to bring into it. You can see things in hindsight which you couldn't see when you're actually going through it. Now COVID now is almost a period of reflection these last 6 years of what's happened. Nobody wants to look at it, but it's profoundly changed our lives. I actually think there's BC, AC, before COVID and after COVID, you know, because
Yes,
life has changed that
true.
much, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Very dramatic. Very
yes.
dramatic.
So what you're both doing is just wonderful in bringing everyone together.
Oh,
And
cheers.
thank
Yeah,
you.
he's a gorgeous thing, isn't he? I love having him on. He's a gorgeous thing. Yeah, he's a great gift. You know, he's
Very good.
a perfect symbol that living a partying life and being a true writer is possible, a worthy life. That's what he's done, and he's still here. He's still pertinent. It's great. Yeah,
And we're still walking and talking. I mean, that's huge.
that's right.
Despite everything.
Yeah. What do you think of the hate speech laws? Because in England, all three of us would be in jail, to be honest. So what do you think of these hate speech laws they're bringing in?
I think we all could still end up in jail. Except,
go ahead.
Unbelievable. Sorry?
I just want one more question for you, for someone your age. The United Nations has just passed a thing. Look, I'm not against trans people. You want to trans, knock yourself out as an adult. But United Nations has now made it that officially you are a woman. If I decide I'm a woman today, then I'm a woman. And so the definition of a woman now is choice, not actually, it's just choice. You be one, you can be one.
It's insanity.
What are your thoughts of that?
It's a gift to be a woman or a man, and we all have, I believe, both energies within, but one predominant if you're female. And it's not just the physical. You can't just take a few hormone pills or chop a few bits off or out of and change, because it's in all of our bodies. You know, it's our spiritual, it's in our soul, that particular what we are, and it is a gift. It's a big gift. I talk about, you know, growing, and I feel I've done this, growing through the different stages, the rites of passage of being a woman and a mother, and moving from that stage, you know, from a maiden to a mother to now I'm a crone, and I think I've earned that, but a lot of people don't walk through those stages, and that doesn't happen. But you can't do that if you're just working on the physical and say, well, you know, that's just not in. It's not in your psyche. So there's only two, male and female. Yeah. And it's heartbreaking because it can't be reversed, and it means that children's lives are being destroyed. You know, I know someone personally with a grandson that's going through it. It's heartbreaking, and for the whole family. Once again, it affects everybody's life around. It's terrible.
Can you hear that? Can you hear that? It's an army of sirens. So one of us is going down.
They're coming to get you.
They're coming to get you.
Yeah, three of us.
Order your book quickly before they drag her off to the jail.
Yeah,
We're daring to suggest there's only two genders. How dare you?
That's funny because, you know, when I was I had to tell my boys I'd written this book, and my eldest son, who's a solicitor, he sort of said, well, Mum, I can't help you virtually, you know, you're going to be that silly, I can't help you. But everybody else sort of said, oh, we'll be there, we'll be there with the choc chips, we'll be there with the bubbles, you know. It was really quite enlightening.
You and your bubbles.
Great to meet you.
Bubbles.
It'd be great to have you on another time. It's great to meet you. You would be a great guest. When you get the book finished, My Angry Breast, you'd be a great guest on a show we have on Tuesdays called The Cardi Girls. Because there were so many mature women in the movement, I reached out to two very prominent voices and said, why don't you do a podcast? So every second Tuesday night now, they do a podcast, get people on the talk, but you'd be perfect on this. This is exactly what they're talking about. And I think we should hear from our seniors, our elders, really. We should, because everyone's lost. Everyone's lost because the system is just collapsing. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been made that way.
Yeah, I agree.
It's been an absolute honor to have you on.
There's a link there. Yeah.
It's been an absolute honour to have you on, Robyn, and thank you so much for
John,
doing the
thank
show.
you.
No, thank
Yeah,
you.
you did well.
Thank you.
Bit nervous at the start, but you did well. You know what I mean?
It's
I told you not to fuck it up, and you didn't. See, it always works.
Well,
See?
that's what did it, John. That's what did it. Those words. I thought, oh my God, I've never done this before.
There you go, your
Yeah.
first podcast.
Yeah.
Many more to come. Maybe if John can get you on a few more interviews. And Anne Rodriguez, your writing sounds incredibly insightful. It truly does. I love how deep you're going with this. It's beautiful, and this is what we need. We need, and it's something I did this morning. A young woman said to me once, and Cafe Lockdown's built on this. John's heard this, so he'll probably be bored of it. But she said, you have a moral obligation not to sell hopelessness, no matter how tight its grip. And at the moment, its grip is very tight.
Very tight.
True. On that
Okay, everyone, share this around. Share this. Let Australia hear this gorgeous voice. Yeah.
Go buy a cake. Make
Go buy
a cake.
Okay, we're going out with Exodus. So this is it. Take care, Robyn. Have a great day.
Thank
You did
you.
very
Thank you.
well.
Thank you.
First podcast, you
Thank
nailed
you.
it. Apart from a few
Thank you
technical
so
issues.
much. But it's just, yeah, thank you.
Make a
No
cake.
problem.
Celebrate.
Yeah, who knows? You might go
Celebrate.
viral. You might go viral and we'll have to get a vaccine against you. See you,
I love
Gorge.
that.
See you, John.
See you, mate.
Chang bought a van and decked it out, showed us all, had all he needed. Could park it anywhere, free as a bird. But when he flew, he found out fast that the great outdoors is a barbed wire fence. I'm not staying here when the shit goes south, and the shit seems to be already here. I've a backpack with all my needs. Trouble is, when I dream, all I find is that the great outdoors is a barbed wire fence. I'm sure my grandfather left freedom here, unless my eyes were open when I was born. But this world has left me blind. Is that right? Mother, am I blind? I'm sure I smelled freedom once in the backwood forests of your eyes. Hide, you said, hide with me, or how else will we ever live free? There's an exodus heading out of town. Their faces are up, but their eyes are down. There's a sun that seems to be shining upside down, and around and around, upside down, and around and around, upside down, and around and around, until we reach the outskirts of town, where we find time and time again that the great outdoors is a bar